Board. Tambal sa board.
Welcome back to Tambal sa board. We're in a different setting with 3 furry friends. You can't see them now, but maybe... They're ghosts. Ayaw na. Look ba ako, bisan ka ba kung ngang irotong masakot. Pero yeah, you might see them if they decide to jump and be in the frame. And then aside from that, we also have Princess, CJ's girlfriend, in the background. So if you hear any voices in your head, lain na si therapist. But no, honestly, like, Princess will be here as well to kind of like help out or
Criticize us.
Criticize good. Dili pwede ka ng side comments, mga live commentary. So, yeah. Jumping into like what's trending now, which is multo. CJ will be singing the first line.
Hoy! Hoy, Diyos ko.
But yeah, what is your multo? Ini ba? So, okay ra ko na.
So, may multo. There are actually 3. Gone first, because I'm not able to work in the field of study. Naknoman. Number 2 is for not being able to pursue my passion in songwriting and music. And number 3 multo is, the regrets that we've been trying to forget and still lingers from time to time. So, ikaw?
I think that's very hard because all of your multos are basically things you wish you would have done. So you are living a life with regrets, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
It's not a maybe, it's a yes. For
Yes.
the 3 things
Okay.
that... Ako'y kabot!
Okay.
No, but for the 3 things that you described, it was like, what if I did this instead of this? So, it's a really tough na multo. My multo is actually... It's not related to anything that I wish I would have done. But basically, my multo is Dorian and I will never fully get to know the version of ourselves that only exists in our mother tongue. So it's what you shared to me before where, niya nakalahirag yun mo date o kanang kapwa nga Bisaya. And if mo date ka og Tagalog.
Yeah, okay. Paremig mother.
Mother tongue. No,
okay.
But like French Dorian.
Parehimig tongue.
But yeah, okay. French Dorian is a different person. She's much more wittier, much more freer in expressing herself and more unguarded. So it's like a side of her that I get to see but cannot like fully really read. And even though I can speak enough French, like fluency is more than just like vocabulary. It's like the rhythm of inside jokes. For example, like now ang inside jokes sa mga Bisaya, like kanang lie. Ayan, a lie. Like Dorian wouldn't understand that kind of joke. Like even if I translate it in English, like she wouldn't be able to understand the joke. And also that, like, it's the weight of untranslatable na mga expressions. And what else? Like how words lands differently in Bisaya or Waray. And it's the same for me. Dorian could see that Bisaya/Waray Phoebe is much more louder, sharper, playful as well. So really, like, we love each other very deeply, but it makes me wonder what parts of us like just gets lost in the translation. So that's my multo.
Wow.
English
na sa imong multo. Wow.
Process pa ka.
Okay, mga seconds. Wala din siya sa kung unsay multo. Unsa di katas. Taos sa multo eh. Gisundan ako.
Pero yeah, I think it is something na also ako ang naghimo nga must have sa ako ang partner is because I felt that magbisaya lang ko kay ang akong gitawag nga sinauna before niya kay magtanaw man.
Kinsa man?
Ha? Katong ako ang
Multo.
Dili multo ka na nga. Loading kayo. Mo na princess is here.
So, sinaunang tao. Abi, masan ako yung lulo. Or lula.
Hindi mo ganahan mo ingon sa letter.
Okay.
Si Y. So, si
Okay.
Y. Magtanawan si Y. Mga na, maglibak ta kadyot niya. So, Si Y is, dili kay siya ingon nga fluent kay sa English. When mag-communicate me sa amuang needs, like maglisod me, like ako ma-frustrate ko nga, di siya ka-share dayon, or kung ma-explain ko, di siya ka-gets dayon. Mo nang, ako ang one of the things that I knew nga, ang sunod nga na ako i-date, at least fluent siya mag-English, even though dili siya Bisaya. And because na naman to sa list, do you have a list para sa imong partner?
Utang. List.
Para sa imong partner, before you met Princess, did you knew what kind of partner you would wanna
Of
have?
course. No.
Para na si Princess.
Dili para na ako mag-good. It's actually very healthy for you to have a list. First of all, ganahan mo ka nga, pinaka-common, general, sa imong values, which is very good, diba? But, magka-problema mo good ka when you are expecting too much sa list. You cannot really, or it will take you forever if you're waiting for that person nga mo complete sa imong check boxes.
Yeah, di ka ganahan nga. I think it's a reality nga di ka ka-meet og tao nga maka-complete sa imong checklist, pero at most iyang ma-complete, di ba?
At most. And also, kanang when it comes to, say for example, kanang inyong relationship, diha maguna or kanang dapat open magud mo nga mo grow mo together sa kanang nga journey. Pero di
Okay,
sa
so you do have a list, but you're not expecting ma-hit na ang mga things na
maybe they're important.
Sige,
Siguro
what
na
is
yung
your
mga top
important
3
man?
siguro.
Sabi mo top 3.
Family-oriented. Of course.
Check.
Check. Nya. Check na lang, basta tubangan. Di ba ta family-oriented? Tapos, na-faith sa Ginoo. Ikatulo, kay magkastorya mi. Say mi yung sense of humor. Hindi ko maglisod. Communication.
So my top 3, I think I agree with you. At first, I wanted to, have an argument and be like, no, the person should be able to at least hit out of 10, maybe like 8. But I do agree, ever worth talking about the things I don't want from a person na I'm dating. For example, being avoidant. If you're an avoidant person, it's a red flag, but at the same time, I'm a avoidant person, so I'm a walking red flag. But then I met Dorian, who's able to help me nga maka-communicate gani or improve my communication. Mona, I think ang ako, ang important personality nga akong gipangita sa partner is maayo siya mo communicate, kaya that's where I'm lacking. And same, values and beliefs. And then ang copy ka. And then ang third is...
Mo di ako igiputa na una para mangupya.
Wala no, kata na lang ba niya?
Sige.
So, and then ang third mo na ka ng at least fluent siya sa English. When you met Princess, was it love at first sight?
It depends on the definition of love. Dili man na ako matawag as love at first sight. But of course, there's spark or maybe connection at first.
Love at first vibe.
Magingana, but when you say love, because deep love or real love, it takes time.
Yeah, I think it's not love, but it's infatuation.
Infatuation, yes.
Yeah, grabe. Infatuation at first sight.
At first
Intense infatuation. Like, that's something that I experienced. The second time was like, and the last is Dorian. Like, grabe ka intense. So,
Siga-siga.
no, like, I don't know. It's like, you know that quote that says, if love isn't this crazy, I don't want it. Like, with Dorian, like that.
Sa Lainey man na.
What do you mean?
I don't want it.
Ay, kanta ka muli pa ko. Buwan niya. But Mona, like, it was really intense with my emotion towards Dorian. And this is something that I told her. You know how people would say, your first love is the greatest love? So, after that first love ended, like, I'll go through a relationship not expecting an intense feeling. And it's almost like settling. Like, oh, okay, you know what? Let's just go through it. And it's with Dorian that I basically learned that you can love again, and it's even gonna be better than the great that you had. So that was something that I shared to Dorian, and that is something that I really appreciate Dorian gave me. So yeah, don't believe when they say na ang imong first love is the only love. You can have or experience another great love if you're just really open to it. I didn't even expect it. Like, I've met people and was like, it's very sad because this person that I'm with now is very much in love with me, and it's sad that I cannot give that love back because I've already give that to someone else, like my first. Because now it sounds like you're settling, but you should be able to find someone who you can give that love that you had in your first way better to someone else.
And mature love na pwede mong matag because of course, it's different kind of love. So siguro kung mature na ka.
So, if you wanna share your experience of your first love,
Keep it.
keep it to yourself.
Ganito, comment mo.
Comment na lang. Okay, let's touch on modern. Let's touch on...
Diba? Gabiin naman, nalanay na.
Let's touch on
English.
modern dating.
Oh.
So, what do you think of the modern dating karon? Like, with how they find person to date, whether it's organic, online. How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
You don't know because you've been out of the game.
Dili, kay wala man tayo padako nga na good. Traditional man nato kind of dating, di ba? Although there are pros and cons. Tawag ni example, ang traditional dating man good is you're really seeking for long-term relationship and your circle kay mas smaller siya. Kay mutual friends, friends of friends, kagat sa ngano, but more on makabuild mo og deeper connection compared to online dating. But I'm not saying that sayo pa because it depends kung sa'yo mo gusto. Sa online dating man good, sa kadagang options, usay maka-burnout siya. Monong sa'yo na
Kasaway ka? Or like
Dili
theory ra nimo?
kay kung ikaw di ba messy kayo nga daghan kay options.
And you, Princess, do you agree? Here. Explain.
Wait na di ba magdepende man sa imo ha kay
The microphone is with
sige, ikaw.
silensyo.
Nanasimulto.
Nanasimulto.
What can you say about traditional and
Traditional
Online
dating,
dating.
and modern dating, which could be like online dating or finding people on TikTok, right? Because her
Yeah,
take,
wa kay Mike.
is she feels like traditional dating has a higher chances of it lasting longer compared to modern dating. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Pero don't get me wrong ha, daghan pud og mga relationships na nag-start through online dating that worked. Like
maybe
through Tinder, ana, 'di ba? We know people na eventually they got married and they're still happy right now, ana. Pero kanang of course when you sell yourself online, of course you only put the good things about you, manggod. You don't really ano ba?
Basically, like they're putting their best foot forward
Yeah.
in their bios, pero when you actually meet them is okay, understand.
Ang akong take na
Back to me.
most of us, pero nami mga ni work yun sa online dating, I'm not saying nga, bati yun na siya. Because like I said, you get to have nga kanaging an option for you to filter or to have qualifications. Kaya nabi mga filtering.
Yeah, okay. My take on this, because this is my field of expertise.
Okay.
No, because I am a fan of online dating. If I were to choose between an organic meetup or an online dating, I would prefer online dating because one, I don't go out that much. And then second, when I am out, if you're being nice to me, I'll just assume that you're being nice to me, that you're not flirting or hitting on me. Third is because unless you're mass presenting or it's obvious that you are gay, then I could be like, okay, like she might like me. But if you're femme presenting, I wouldn't even assume you're gay. So if I'm in a party or a bar, I wouldn't know who is actually gay. But in online dating, you know their gender preference, you know if they're there to date or just to see where things goes. And it's also like intention, your intention behind why you're in the app. Like with Dorian, we both met each other on Hinge na app. And then for her, she was like, yeah, I'm using Hinge na app because, it's for people who are serious in dating. I'm like, babe, I downloaded all the 5 apps. I was in that 5 apps, Tinder, Bumble, I think there was like OkCupid, and then Hinge, like I had 5 apps. And my intention there was to just, meet people, see where it goes, but never really intention to be in a relationship. And then it just so happens na, kita na ko si Dorian, we clicked, and then the rest is history. I couldn't say which is better. I guess it's like, if it works for you,
Right. It depends.
whichever route you take, then it works for you.
Pero mawagtang lang ang katong
Ang build up
yes,
to...
ang kilig factor kay usay biya kaning sa traditional dating na mo guna nga part sungog wala man na usay
Yeah,
lahi man sad guna ang ihatag nga tawag nimo emotional og kanang
That, it's true. Like, I agree
Diba?
with that. Bro, I actually like it better na wala ka na just because it just cleans out the messiness of it.
grabe sa traditional magud me.
No, like, I understand. Pero, grabe yung mga ma-heartbreak anang sungog nga. Kuto bra ka ni, nga, hala, sungugunta niya. Day ito ganahan.
Sumog pa.
Ayaw kayo, mauli pa ba ako?
Agoy, magawan. Oh, sige.
I don't know, I just like it to be raw or like, very straightforward. Whether it's traditional or online that you guys met and then got together, the real work is, learning each other's love languages. I think that's where it matters most if like a relationship would work or not, or one of the things. And because now we're touching on love languages, do you have love?
What is love? Oh. Saan pumunta na? Do you have love?
No, what's your love language?
Love language. Says,
Ah.
dili na, uy. Para na ako mo assess na ko ha, pero let me know if I'm wrong. Murag na ako sa tanan.
But you have your top 3.
So, words of affirmation, physical touch, and service.
Top 3
Oh.
nga imong ganahan madawat.
Ang akong gihatag.
Ang imong gihatag. Ang imong ganahan madawat unsa man?
Mao sa dunta. Pero 50-50 man na siya tanan. But okay ra gyud.
Yeah, okay. Mine as well. Like, I think we're the same in terms of how we give love. But ang atong partners is 50-50. So, I really love words of affirmation. But Dorian seems to give words of abuse.
Sungog-sungog no.
Grabe na mo sungog,
Mao
oy.
sa nang ako man dawat sungog. Bulihonon guro ta.
So yeah, it's words of affirmation, physical touch as well, and gift give. You guys, let us know what your love language is. And then, nakashare naman ko og kanang red flag. Do you have like a red flag nga? Okay, if nagpossess ni ani nga tao, kani nga XYZ attribute, I wouldn't date that person.
Kuan, opposite
Sa mo
sa akong gisulti.
shortcut lagi na imo. Di wa siya values, wa siya belief.
Uy, tinuod bitaw opposite ana kay mao man yung pinaka-importante nako. Kung wala kay nga kaning top 3 nako, maglisod ko.
So mo na ang imuhang mga red flag.
yeah.
Well, actually it makes sense.
Ni nangupya.
No, wag ko nang upya. Yan na lang ko. Like, it makes sense. Like, you know what? Your answer is actually very direct na.
Okay.
Speaking of, like, just sharing, on sa itong mga red flags, I actually found a TikTok where, okay, so, mama, it's Pachi. See? One of our furry friends just joined in.
Multo.
Isang multo. This is the post on TikTok that I saw. Lesbian TikTok, let's get real. What's the most unhinged thing you or your GF did to each other and still stayed? I'm not talking about cheating. Give me chaos. So of course, I ran into the comments. And this is what the people has shared. Her phone died and she fell asleep. So her location was off. I broke into her apartment, saw her sleeping soundly, crawled into bed, gave her a kiss, then left. She thought it was a dream for 3 years. How do you guys feel about that?
Isa, balik ka good.
Basta English loading lagi ka. Kasabot
Nawag tango.
Kasabot man kaka-princess.
Na.
Okay.
Sige.
So, her phone died and she fell asleep, so her location was off. I broke into her apartment, saw her sleeping soundly, crawled into the bed, gave her a kiss, then left.
Mhm.
She thought it was a dream for 3 years.
Okay.
That's a psycho behavior, no? Like, she broke into her apartment. She didn't knock. She didn't ring. She broke into her
Sabi
apartment.
ko gusto lang siya mo himog sweet nga gesture sa iyong partner.
Kabaw ka, pa-assess ko no sa therapist kung hindi mo sweet. To me, like, when I read it, I was like, okay, this is...
Okay,
This-
kuan kay siya kanang malisyoso kay siya.
Hindi siya malisyoso, pero like,
Wala siya salig.
No.
Kay na off man.
yeah.
But maybe there's a history.
No,
May
but
bilang
even though,
history,
like,
di
the
ba?
fact that she broke into her apartment is
Kay
wild.
na worry pod siguro siya.
Okay.
Asa siya pa dong.
Probably.
Oh.
No, but
Kuwang
no.
na nga story.
Dili, I
Dili
think...
pa kay siya nga
Ay, grabe, ganun ka, more
Kaya
content.
more ganang
Nag-overthink ka nun.
kato iya kay tingarig na kuan pa to kanang story behind.
Ah.
So di pa gid kay siya.
Ikaw na magbuot.
Sige.
Na
Ako
isa.
yung ako yung judge.
Ikaw yung judge. Okay, there's another one.
Yeah.
I gifted her a kitten, and when we broke up, she ran it over.
Huy! Awa! Perfect judge. Awa ko reaction. Huy! Kana dili. Bati siya batasan.
Yeah, if previous was like, psycho behavior, this is like psychotic to jail behavior. Bro. Like, seriously,
Kinda
a
psychotic
kitten?
na siya.
Bro. Okay, next one.
Kaluwi sud sa ring.
As in, yeah, cat lover ba ako? Okay, next
Napriso
one.
siya.
Ha?
Kaya di ba di man na pwede sa gawas ang
Wala siya na preso. Like, sure, it's animal cruelty, but I don't think it was to that extent. But, oh my God, Wait! She ran it over, and they still stayed together.
akaw kung tungod sa siya.
Mm-hmm.
Pareha
Birds of the
sila.
same feather. Meant to be soulmate. And then there's another one. So we got into a car accident and she sued me.
Hey,
She bought me a MacBook and Beats headphone with the money she won and wrote a 4-page apology letter. I never spoke to her again. Why the fuck would you sue me?
tinuod. Pero wala agad sila mag-stay together.
After
how
no,
many
they didn't
years?
stay together.
Okay.
But the thing is, so this is something that has happened like sidetrack sata. This is something that happened sa New York. So my mom was driving and my sister was in the car and then they hit a car I think just in front. So she sued my mom. Like my sister sued my mom. But it's all in an arrangement. So, nay makuha kong ate. Tagaan ko niya yung mama. Pero akong mama gave a consent na, sige, pwede ko naman kasuhon. It's a thing.
Pero, how's your name? Kanang, di ba,
Ang imong
ikaw
name?
makasuhan ka, nakatatak na ba na siyang name?
she's old, so, and
Okay na, mahugawan na.
okay na ano yung paki akong mama. Sige, basta kwarta. So, what na happen? Okay, going back sa thread. Okay. She was my boss. Her ex came up to our work and punched me in the head in front of all our co-workers and friends. Comes came, I quit. She got demoted. Then I married her. Sa paspasal kayong English. Baligon ako.
Balik ka.
She was my boss. Her ex came up to our work and punched me in the head in front of all our co-workers and friends. So the cops came, I quit, she got demoted, then I married her.
Kugtong.
I know.
Hmm.
Pero I don't
Normal,
think
ano?
it's, well, maybe if they cheated, then, it's
Maybe.
deserved. Pero that's a crazy story. I wouldn't say it's lesbian love because honestly, heteros
Dili,
be
uy.
wild as well. Nakay ingana nga story, personal experience.
Wala. Di ko.
Think about it. Knowing you, probably.
Ngano mo kang pangutanon? Ako sa rin doon. Una-una, good. Pangutanon doon natin sila.
Nakikiligsan. That's all the story I have. And I think we'll actually end it with a random fact. I have a random fact. Fact?
No! Fuck! Hoy!
Random.
Ah.
Do you know ang mga honeybees? They die at a certain heat temperature.
Mhm.
Do you know that? And when they do die, they do like a mass ejaculation before they rest in peace.
Last na to! Ito na mo na!
Guys, ang rest in peace, it's relaxing in peace. Mother Nature said, come into the light. Anyways, like, that was something that I saw sa morning. And that's how we're gonna end this episode. If you guys have a multo story, leave them below in the comment section. We'll read through it because right now, we're just like looking at like random.
Bisag ka tong multo nga tinuod. Okay ra mo ko.
Ikay mo ba sa ato? Kaya honestly, like, I'm really scared that, like, even just stories, like, I try to avoid horror movies and also just reading them. Mas di ko ganahan og mubasa kay tungod. I can imagine it manggod. So, yeah. If you have anything like that, leave them below. And also, like, something...
Keep it.
Leave it.
Keep it.
Don't share it, actually. Keep it to yourself.
Ingana na lang no ang ending ba?
Pero,
If you have something to share,
keep it to yourself. We don't want to hear it. But anyways, that's how we're gonna end the show. Wala na ni structure. Thank you again for watching Tambal sa Board and see you when I see you. Bye!
bye-bye. Kasi di ma-disturb ani.
Nas kuan, control center. Airplane mode.
Flee.
Airplane daw.
Okay, let's go.